there's no good segue here, but the next topic, hopefully you get some sort of discount for Battlefront and for Rainbow Six on PS Plus because, ooh man, PS Plus is amazing.
It's a thing.
It
It's a
is.
good thing.
Yep.
So I'm gonna throw this out there. PS Plus came, I think, after the PS3 network failure, where it was off for like a month or whatever. Um, and I think it's a, how would you say? It's a nice change to the industry. I think it was the first to do that, wasn't it? I don't know.
I think Xbox, like
What
the
do you
gold
what do you
thing, was
what are you
Like,
there to get
talking
it
to,
in
like
about?
when
place.
I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like free games, like every not every month back then, but free games in general with a subscription. I don't think that was ever done on anything
I
before.
honestly can't tell you whether or not that is a new thing, but what I can tell you is that it's definitely helped, and it was a good move, and it was good at getting people to buy PlayStation Plus, especially now. PlayStation Plus is something that you kind of just have to have if you want to play anything multiplayer on PlayStation 4. But for PS3, it was entirely people who wanted the cloud saving and the free games and the discounts and stuff like that. And even then, it was still really worth it. Now you kind of need it, and at the same time, it also makes it more worth it because you're able to play these multiplayer games. But more people get it kind of because, they're trying to play those games. They're not necessarily going for the discounts or free games. Like, I can't tell you how many people I know who don't even know that you get free games every month, or if they do, they don't look at them and they don't care. They don't add them to their library. They don't even bother with it. So, like, for them, they're getting all these subscriptions, but like they're not actually giving out these free games to everybody on that subscription, especially those who I'm gonna call out one of my friends here, but one of my friends from a few years ago, he has an Xbox Live account. He has not played his Xbox for over 3 years, but he has not canceled his subscription to Xbox Live.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Who
So
does that?
he's or it's probably his dad actually, but I think his father's been paying for his Xbox Live account for 3 years now, and he doesn't touch it. He does not use anything from that. So it's like people can be forgetful, and people can honestly just be like a little bit, ignorant to what exactly they're getting out of it. Like I've said it before, PlayStation Plus is totally worth it in my opinion. Like, you get so much out of it, your return is far far greater than what you pay. Like, I buy PlayStation Plus yearly, so I pay about $50, I believe, for a year of PlayStation Plus, and I get over like hundreds of dollars of games and for free, and then also any discounts that I want to decide to use with it to save even more money. So like there are always good games that come out, and then every now and then there are standout games like Injustice, for example. The Ultimate Edition of Injustice came out for free sometime this year. Rocket League is something that came out for free this year. Super Meat Boy is free right now, and you guys should go watch my Play with Plus episode if you haven't already. Um,
Just go
Shameless
watch it.
plug.
He'll come to your house if you don't go watch it.
Pause the video, go watch it, then come back.
Then come back.
There are a lot of great games that they're putting out there for free that, I mean, they're not technically free, obviously. You're paying for the subscription. But I've always said before, like, if you're not the type of person who plays multiplayer games, if you're not the type of person who's going to be downloading every single game, like, if you're not the type of person who likes trophies, who will download every game even just to get trophies, even just to play through the game once, get some trophies, be done with it, Sometimes I like to do that. Sometimes I download games and I don't even play them myself, but, like, for the most part, like, even if you're not into all that, I would say look at what games are free, and if you like the games that are free, purchase 1 month of PlayStation Plus, download those games, play through those games, have a good time, and then when your 1 month is over, you're done with those games. And then just keep, if you want to play games, like specifically games like Super Meat Boy or something where you maybe want to play through the full game once, but you might not touch it ever again, or at least not for a very long time, just buy it for a month and then enjoy your time with it. And then when it's up, then you won't, be missing a whole lot. But then there's also games like Rocket League, where that came out like 2-3 months ago, and tons of people are still playing it. If you don't have PlayStation Plus and you downloaded it for free, then you can't play it anymore. So,
Very true.
So like for me, I've always said PlayStation Plus has been worth it. I've always I got PlayStation Plus when the PS4 came out, but I wanted it. I thought that it was worth it when it was for PS3, but it just didn't really have any incentive to get it really until I started playing multiplayer games. So I mean that I think that definitely worked out for them. People got upset about it for some reason, but at the same time, you know, the
I think
PlayStation 3's
they got upset about it because now it's a requirement. It used to be an option, and I can understand that because I
yeah.
remember when my PlayStation Plus ran out, like my subscription ran out. I was I couldn't play for like a week or two. I think it was 2 weeks where I couldn't play online, so I couldn't play Destiny or I couldn't play GTA online. And I was just like, if I was back on the PS3, I still could have been playing. And,
Yeah, but I
you
mean,
missed that time.
I think that people overlook the whole point of paying for this though, because the Xbox Live, you know, the whole system, the whole software was way superior to the the PSN, and probably you know the Xbox One is probably superior to how PSN works right now. In terms of like the way that the software is built, because so far what I've heard, the PSN is a mess. It's
Yep, it is.
it's just works in a way that nobody really understands, and they don't really want to mess with it. So
We still can't
yeah,
change our names.
yeah, we can't change our names because they think if they make it so we can change our names, that they're gonna break everything. So, you know, they need to figure that out. The PlayStation Plus is PlayStation Network is a mess, but then that's kind of what PlayStation Plus is for. The reason why they didn't do much to fix PlayStation 3's software is because they didn't get any incentive to do so. They didn't get any extra revenue to put money towards that, where Xbox Live paid for that for the Xbox gamers. And now that we're paying for, you know, essentially for playing online, that's where our money is going. It's going towards making all these firmware updates, all these software updates that come out every couple of months. Recently, there was a firmware 3.0, I think, came out, and it didn't do a whole ton, but it added a lot of cool features, and we're getting closer to getting, you know, a system that works really well, not only to play games, but also to, you know, be social and also to do a lot of things that you would kind of want your console to do. You can do groups, you can do, you know, group chats and stuff now a lot easier. You know, there's a lot of cool features that they added to it. I still don't understand how events works. I don't really get that at all. They even added something that people have been complaining about, and I thought this was a really good fix to it. Is they added its PlayStation Plus has its own little tab, and
Oh yeah.
at the top,
Yeah.
next to the, I believe it's next to your friends list or something, or next to your notifications. So you don't have to go through the PlayStation Store and, you know, search for free games and go through a bunch of menus just to get to the free games. All you got to do is go up to PlayStation Plus, click it. It'll show you your 2 free games right there on the front screen. So it's not like hiding it anymore. It's very obvious if you check it every month, you know. So I think PlayStation Plus is very, very helpful, not only to us so we can play games, but also so PSN or Sony can fix things with PSN. So I mean, I don't understand the complaint about people.
I hope that's where all the money's going.
Oh, it is.
Really?
It definitely is. I mean, maybe not 100% of it, but there's definitely a large amount of that money going towards that, because
Shuhei's
otherwise we
taking some
wouldn't.
cut. He's taking some money home. He's just like, it's for me, man.
He's using that money to buy some Destiny microtransactions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got to get all the silver.
Oh, okay.
But I think that it's, when people complain about having to pay, it's something that you were mentioning, not during this podcast, but outside of this, Chris, is that sometimes people are a little bit selfish when they're thinking about gaming and how it affects them. But you have to realize there are developers behind everything, and that they also have to get paid. So nobody's gonna fix your game if they're not getting paid to do so.
Yeah,
True.
that is very true. That's
So-
why Destiny employees, they're out working every day, trying to fix this Night Stalker glitch, trying to fix the Sunbreaker.
Which is probably fixed by the time that this comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
We can't fix it, guys.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't like from like you were right about everything that you said about what PlayStation Plus is, like how it works, like how like it works really well for what it is. Like you need it for like multiplayer. Yeah, like I guess like that's the reason, like when people heard about that with the PlayStation 4's announcement, they were kind of like, I guess you could say, butthurt about it because they never had to pay for it for being online. Why do they have to do it now? But it makes sense because they're using it to fix like the firmware and software stuff. And like you said, it's definitely worth it because all those free games that you get, like I still play Rocket League now. Like I play it a lot still because it's fun. It's a fun game to play, and they continue to update the game and a couple other games that came out like Transistor and with that Twin Dragon game. I forgot the name of it, but the one where you use the two joysticks. That
I
game
don't
was
remember
there were
that.
games that are awesome that are released from that, and I definitely think what you said, like it is worth like what you pay for it. It definitely is worth what it is because you do save a lot of money from what you would have to if you didn't have it, if you wanted those games, and it shows you a bunch of new games that you never heard about, and then you see it and then you enjoy it, and then maybe you'll even go out and buy it because you want to help that developer like continue making things.
Which is why I buy all of the Rocket League DLCs because I know that I didn't pay for their game, so I want to support them.
Yeah,
I spent $8, which is half the price of the actual game. I believe. I think it's like $20,
yeah, I think
but
so.
I haven't even paid for half of their game, and I've put probably dozens to hundreds of hours in that game.
Yep, that's kind of how I feel.
All right, so Chris, what is your opinion then?
So my opinion is PS Plus is completely worth it. It's a good bang for your buck. You're getting a lot out of it. The only issue with I think what you said was um, that a lot of, or not a lot, but a percentage of the money goes back to PSN to try to fix it and stuff. Sometimes I find it hard to believe because they barely do things. I mean, they do change some things from here and there, but none of these dramatic changes. Or if they do, I don't think they communicate it as well. And those are two different things, but I think that affects it a lot. Another thing that I wanted to bring up with PlayStation Plus, and that's a very good question, is would you keep purchasing it if it cost you more money? So,
Well, I think that it depends on how much more money. If it's $60, which matches the price of Xbox Live, I believe, then yes, I'll still pay for it. $60 isn't that much of a jump. 70, maybe even I would still be okay with that. I don't think that a lot of people would be, but I think that I would probably still be okay with that. That's still a pretty good deal. But anything over that just seems like it's asking for a lot. I mean, you're not getting anything direct from it other than the multiplayer stuff. But especially if you're the type of person who doesn't download all of the PlayStation Plus games, you're not getting $70 worth of PlayStation, content. But something that I wanted to go back to really quickly, that you said that you don't see all these big updates. You actually do see quite a few. There have been a bunch of firmware updates, but the biggest thing is there was a very big update which helped me, which is sub accounts were able to be turned into master accounts recently. Not that recently, sometime this year, but that happened, and I thought that was a huge deal, especially for someone like me who they didn't start their PlayStation account on their own PlayStation. They started on somebody else's account as a sub account, and they weren't able to change that. So they do obviously work on
yeah, I
trying
mean,
to
I'm
fix
not
certain
saying these
things.
people are like being lazy and not doing anything because they obviously do their job at what they need to fix. But it just feels like sometimes you're not getting the immediate response. You're sitting there waiting to hear back, and it's not often that you hear back from them.
So you're just saying like it's a just a communication error between them saying it to you, like they're not doing it correctly. Is that what you're trying to say?
If you try, yeah, I would say that too. But I don't know.
Okay,
We
sure.
don't work at Sony, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, so something else that I wanted to point out, this is something that crosses my mind like pretty often actually, is like the whole idea of the free games on PlayStation Plus. Like, I don't know how that economically works. Like the way I'm assuming that works is PlayStation or Sony approaches whatever developer it is and says, we're going to give you this lump sum of money plus maybe a royalty for a very small percentage of a royalty depending on how much people actually decide to download your game. Because when you look at Rocket League, which was the most downloaded game on PSN, ever, I think it still is. Like that game, I don't think that if you know, they if they were told that this many people would download your game and they would purchase it for $15, do you think that they would have just sold it on their own instead of going with PlayStation because they would have gotten more money? Yes, but if it wasn't free, not this many people would have downloaded their game. So like it's kind of a thing where I feel like those developers have to decide, is it smarter for me to take this large amount of money and just put my thing out for free because maybe not that many people are going to download and like it, or to risk putting it out there and having people pay for it and it not selling well? Where I think Rocket League did a good job and they got so many people to download their game for free, and they probably did get some sort of royalty for it because of how many people downloaded it. But then they went through and they're like, all right, we're going to make constant, and pretty often DLC packs. So they've already released 2 and they're releasing another car sometime this month. And those people who enjoyed the game, like myself, who want to go back and support these developers who didn't probably get all the money that they could have with, these games, with it being free. So those kind of people can pay that kind of respect back towards them through the DLC. So like that's always something that crosses my mind. Like what do you guys think is like what happens there where these developers have to, consider whether or not it's going to be a better deal for them economically to go with the free PlayStation Plus or just release it?
I feel that it's like these things are like timed exclusive kind of things. It's here's a whole bunch of money, or here's not a whole bunch of money because it's probably, well, it probably is a good chunk, but here's money. There's no risk for you at all. And this, Anthony, I think what you're talking about, Rocket League, this is a special situation where the game came out with PlayStation Plus. Most of the games that come out for PlayStation Plus have already came out. They've already made their money, and now it's just like this extra little bonus thing.
That is something that I took into consideration. But recently, most of the games that come out on PlayStation Plus come out that day. Super Meat Boy did it as well. I don't know if Broken Age did it this time, but I mean,
like Super Meat Boy's been out on Xbox for a long time.
But not PS4.
Yeah, I know, but the developers made their money, and they've done their thing, and now it's just like, hey, we can get you on PS4, and this many amount of people are gonna buy it. You're gonna make all the monies for you, or hey, here's some money, but everyone's gonna buy it, or everyone's gonna download it, and everyone's gonna play it. I think with Super Meat Boy and Super Meat Boy and Rocket League are two completely different things, where the developer has never released this game ever, so it's just them taking the risk. And then Super Meat Boy, we've already made our money. We can get and if we can get on as many PS4s as we can, that'd be great. Than just making some more money.
That's true. That's also something that I consider when thinking about this, because it was a couple days ago. This was just running through my mind. I was going through all these different ideas in these different situations, and I think that's basically where it lands. Like going back again to like Injustice or like Dishonored or something. When something I don't know if it was Dishonored. I think it was Thief. Yeah, Thief, which is like the worst version of Dishonored apparently. But when those games come out for free, they're not released with that. They're when people say they already sold a certain amount of copies, they got the majority of their money, and they're gonna get more money out of Sony making this free than they would get by just seeing how many people would continue to buy it. So I think that's always like a win-win situation. Sony gets a bunch of free games, get a bunch of new subscriptions, and then that company gets extra money that they wouldn't get otherwise. But when games, but I don't know, Super Meat Boy is kind of a weird situation as well, because it's a new soundtrack and the game isn't entirely the same, and there's a bunch of new stuff in it, and there's trophies and all that kind of stuff, and it's new to the PS4, so it is kind of new. I mean, I did own it on Xbox, but I still I'm playing through it again on PS4, because when I was on Xbox I only played through like the first chapter, but now on PS4 I'm like at the boss of like the second to last chapter or something like that. But even though it's a pretty old game, I'm still enjoying it as though it were new. But then at the same time, I probably wouldn't have purchased it again if it came out, not for free.
Yeah.
Because that's something I already played. I got my fix of it. But since it's free, I'm of course enjoying it. I'm happy that it's free and I'll play through it now. But if I had to pay for it, I'd be like, I already played this. So I do think it was a very smart, decision for them to do so. because otherwise maybe not a lot of people would have downloaded it.
So it's about getting your game out there.
It's about maximizing the amount of people that you can, like you said, the amount of PS4s that you can get on, as well as how many people you could get to actually purchase things for your game.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that wraps up our second topic, but we are going to have another little speed round thing that we like to do at the end of these things. So what we're going to be doing this time, and probably every time from now on, this little segment that we do at the end, we're probably going to talk about just some kind of current news. Something, recently current, because this is obviously recorded before you actually see it, so it's going to be a little bit old for you, but it's definitely in the time frame of when this is recorded. So what we're going to be talking about today is the NX, which recently sent out dev kits to the developers to start making games for it. So what do you guys think about this?
Well, I think, I've read a few articles about like the NX already, and from what I've heard about the NX, they say it's like kind of like cutting edge technology is what they described it as. But I think it's kind of like technology like around the same level as the PS4 and Xbox One. So I think what they're gonna try to do with those dev kits is like give it to like big third party studios so they can get more money, because that's really what they need right now, because they didn't sell Wii U very well, even though they did really well with the Wii. So
they don't really need money right now.
I mean, they don't need it like right now, but
I completely disagree with that, but okay.
They're not in need of money.
They're not in need of money, but I mean, like
they're sitting on billions of dollars.
They are
still.
sitting on a ton of money, but I mean,
I'll
they
quote
didn't.
Someone from the internet as well. Those millions of dollars, if you don't do anything with them, will go away very, very easily. So
that's true, but it's not millions; it's billions, and they have time.
They do have time.
They have more than enough time to try. Like that's
they got one try,
yeah,
and that's it. And that's his
well, that's something that's not necessarily something that you can say for sure right now. That's the kind of thing that I've been hearing is they definitely have this try with the NX. They want to give it one more shot, and then the thing is, like, depending on how the NX does, they are gonna have to decide whether or not they want to give it one last ditch effort, or if they just want to call it quits and become a software developer. So like that's not something that you can definitely say yet, because you don't know how the NX is going to do. And then also what you were saying about the whole
from this news story about NX, it's like finally they're doing it. They're giving it to third parties, because finally Nintendo will have a third party support. Praise Reggie, man, because someone was talking over there. It's like we need every other game in this system, as well as Mario, as well as Super Smash Bros.
I don't know what you're trying to say there, because it's not as though they did not want third-party support before. They couldn't get it, not because they didn't want it, because people didn't want to give it to them.
Well, it's because, like I said, the Wii U was kind of a commercial failure.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to what you were saying about cutting-edge technology. That doesn't mean technical specs.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, from the way I view it, cutting edge technology is like the Wii Motion Plus. That's something that not many people have, or just Wii Motion, I guess, but something not people have seen a lot of, something that people were very intrigued by. For the Wii U, again, the second screen functionality, that's cutting edge technology. For in terms of technical limitations, what I've seen from what I've read about this NX dev kit is that it is comparable and possibly exceeds, or at least keeps up with, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's specs in terms of power. The cutting edge technology, I believe, comes into play with the whole idea of the handheld, the portable part, where we still don't really know what it means. But if it has all this power behind it, how can it also be portable? So I think that's where the cutting edge technology and where the real question comes into play. Where, like, what exactly is going on here? Like, they haven't showed us a whole lot yet. Obviously, the dev kits are going out, which means that they're almost done. With all of the developing of this system, they still need to work out whatever they have to do and finalize it. But then marketing and revealing and all that stuff has to come out pretty soon. They said they're not going to talk about it until 2016. But
January.
I can definitely. No,
Nintendo
I think they
announced
said
its
E3. I
NX.
think they said E3 2016.
Maybe.
But I don't know if it's possible, but I do think it's kind of likely that it will come out by before Christmas of next year,
That's
of
what I've been
2016.
hearing.
They're gonna go the
Because
route of announcing it at E3, and they're like, "It's out now,"
That would be
and
crazy.
that'd be amazing.
that would be really, really, I think, crazy, yes, but also shocking, surprising. You know,
They just
it would
hand
get
one
people
out to
talking.
everyone.
It would get people talking. You get an NX, and you get an NX.
It's gonna be Oprah Winfrey.
As long as their all their commercials feature the song X gonna give it to you, then you know.
Yes.
Reggie
Then they
gets
have
up on
some
stage,
good
he
marketing.
just starts throwing out NXs.
And he starts trash talking all those Smash players again.
Oh boy.
Dang. No Johns.
No Johns. Oh boy. Okay.
I like how we always tend to end these segments off with some good Nintendo news.
Yeah. Somehow.
That's been all the podcasts. Last time I think it was Smash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Was
now
it? Okay.
NX. And I hope
Yeah.
it does well.
I want it to do
I'm
well.
I'm really optimistic about what it's gonna be.
I like the Wii U, but I
The
want
Wii
this
is
to be
the
better.
Wii is an alright system.
Yeah. It was okay for when it was released. It was a little better than PS3 and Xbox 360.
It's a lot
but-
better than like PS3 is for sure.
Yeah.
Not in terms of game library, but in terms of technical.
Yeah. But I mean,
Like
in
hardware?
terms of well, that in consideration, but in terms of actual games as well, because those
Yeah, like
games-
in terms of the value you're getting, a PS3 is definitely a lot more than a Wii U.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you guys for watching this podcast. This has been episode 4, right?
Yep.
Episode
I
4 of the
believe so.
Boost Podcast. If you guys want to check out some of the things that we've been doing on the channel, we have a bunch of Play with Plus episodes that we have gone up for the month of October. There's a Super Meat Boy playthrough, which we talked about a little bit ago, and there's also one for Broken Age. And there might be a couple of other videos coming out similar to those coming up soon. Are we expecting anything from either of you guys?
Expect Batman coverage.
Do you mean
Batman
just
coverage?
Batman or comic books?
Just Batman.
Okay, well, we
Okay.
can expect something about Batman
Something
coming up
about
soon, I
Batman.
hope.
And I am working on something. It should be done in a couple weeks because
Still working
I'm-
on that thing that we talked about a
yeah,
while ago.
a while
I
ago.
guess.
But I mean, I just got a new computer and I need to fix my whole setup just so I can work in peace, I guess.
All right. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as they all say.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check out the rest of our podcasts and everything else that we got going on. So we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye bye.